Hello my friends and welcome back to the Life of Awesome Change series. We are entering video 3. So if you haven't watched the previous videos yet, please pause this video and go back, watch those first 2 videos because they really build upon each other so that you can get a lot more out of this series. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Simple Sober Life YouTube channel, please do so now. And make sure to hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. In today's video, we are going to learn exactly how to run headfirst into any change that you want to make or any situation that might come up so that you come out victorious on the other side. Okay, so today in this video, we are going to create an alter ego. Now, I know. It sounds hippie, it sounds a little stupid, maybe a little embarrassing. But I promise you, doing this will help you conquer any change that you want to make and tackle any situation that might come up. And no one has to know that you're actually invoking your alter ego to conquer those situations and changes. But the awesome thing is you are in good company. There are so many celebrities that actually use this tactic before they step on stage, before they shoot a film, before they do anything in the record studio. We have Beyonce, who has Sasha Fierce, probably one of the most popular alter egos in the entire world. We also have Lady Gaga, who has Joe Calderone. She actually invokes a male alter ego before she does any interviews, before she does any stage performance. And of course, we have Marshall Mathers, who actually invokes the power of Eminem. So much so that he's actually changed his identity to Eminem. Now, in creating your alter ego, you want to be as specific as possible. You want to know everything about them so that you can get the full flavor of what they're all about so that you can conquer any change and any situation that might come up. All you have to do is know your character, know your alter ego. And when I was in film school, I actually learned this process in screenwriting. Before I could sit down and actually write a script, I had to know exactly who my characters were. Who was the good guy? Who was the bad guy? Who were they? I had to know everything about them so that I could actually get inside of their head and create a script based around them and what they would do in this situation. So basically, I would just toss in situations and let the character, let the alter egos come through naturally. And this is what you're going to do with your alter ego. You're going to know him or her so well that after time, you'll be able to invoke him like that. And you won't have any problem transitioning from normal, everyday Josh to Mighty Josh, or whatever your character is. So a couple of questions that you will definitely want to answer in creating your alter ego are, is it a male or female? Is it an animal of some sort? That's definitely a possibility. Where were they born? What was their childhood like? Who are their parents? What did they do? Do they have siblings? Who are their family members? What do they do for a career? How much money do they make? How do they dress? What are their physical appearances? Do they have dark hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes? Are they short? Are they tall? Are they stocky? Are they muscular or more petite? You want to answer as many questions as you possibly can. And then you want to go dive deeper. How does the character think? You know, how would they react in certain situations? You want to get as specific as possible when creating this alter ego. You know, if they're driving in traffic and someone cuts them off, how would they react? And essentially, we're building this character, this alter ego, around who you want to be. The stronger, more powerful you. We want to give you power through that alter ego. And so we need to create that alter ego to match who you want to be. Now, the absolute most important factor in creating this alter ego is the name. Shakespeare said it best with what's in a name? Well, absolutely everything. We identify by our names. Our names hold power. They actually envelop exactly who we are. My name is Joshua, and I feel like that's a pretty strong name. It's a biblical name. It's someone who fit the battle of Jericho. So it's someone who can go into battle, who is headstrong, and who is ready to conquer a situation. But with your alter ego, you're going to want to take that even a step further. And so specific details need to go into the name. Really choose that name carefully. And in researching the name, find out what it means, what the background is. How does it relate to you and who you want to be? Now, I have found in creating my alter ego that a lot of my characteristics are also in this alter ego. It's characteristics that I pride, but I also want to take that a step further and include characteristics that I am not really strong at, things that I would like to be better at. Some of the characteristics that I have included in my alter ego is he is charming, he's charismatic, he's got a quick wit, he speaks a couple of different languages, he definitely knows Spanish and Mandarin, some French, he's a world traveler. He's got dark hair and dark eyes, and he stands about 6'1". He's got a very manly physique in that he's got broad shoulders, a thinner waistline. He's got well-developed muscle tone because he works out. He understands the importance of nutrition. He understands the importance of physical fitness. And he's got a great mind. He loves to learn. Anything new that he can grasp his arms around and obtain, he's all on board. My alter ego is about 34 years old, and he is a multi-millionaire CEO of a digital marketing conglomerate. And he built this business from the ground up. He started with music and producing musical groups. And then he moved into films and streaming services like Netflix. He loves to use his creativity not only in production, but also around the house. And he's really handy at creating things for the home, like flower beds and benches. And he likes to work with his hands, and he's good with woodworking and metalworking. And he likes to use this throughout his house to create a more homely environment and show off some of the things that he's able to accomplish. My alter ego has a sleek sense of style. He's always well manicured with his hair propped up and things like that because he wants to show the outside world that he's confident and that he takes care of himself and that he's proud of the work that he's done. On the other side, he's also sensitive. He enjoys going to the opera. He likes to help others do things through charity work. He travels the globe, not just for fun and leisure, but also to go help different communities in Africa and South America. He likes to give his time up in order to better the world around him. He also enjoys some of the finer things in life, like hopping on a yacht and traveling across the sea to unknown lands to experience new foods and wines. He's not married, only because he hasn't found the right woman yet. My alter ego was born in Greece, and he's a world traveler and has been since the very beginning. His parents were in international business centered in Greece until they moved to New York, where he spent and grew up most of his life. My alter ego went to school, he went through public high school, and then he went to the University of Southern California, where he got a business degree in film. And that's what kind of sparked his passion for, working in that industry. Not to mention his creative side was just overflowing in such a creative, warm, and welcoming environment. Now, as I mentioned, the name is the absolute most important thing, and that's why I kind of saved it for last. Once you start developing your character, how they think, how they feel, how they look, Then, after you have all of these different attributes, creating a name or coming up with a name should actually be a little bit easier, because you can generally pick a name that kind of envelops all of these different characteristics. But as I have found out, and I was Googling different, strong male names, make sure to find out the meaning of it. One of the names that I had looked into was Blaze. I'm like, oh man, that's such a cool name. I'm gonna be Blaze. Blaze, man, that's powerful, that's strong. But when I actually looked it up, it means one who stutters. Now, every character has flaws. We all have flaws. Characters in films and television, what makes them three-dimensional are their flaws. But stuttering is not exactly a flaw that I wanted to have in my character. When I go into business meetings, when I meet new people, I don't want to be tripping over my words and, at a loss for words. I want to be someone who comes across as confident and self-assured and yet compassionate. Another name that I looked into was Riker. I'm like, oh man, I've heard that name before, but it's a really cool name. So let me Google it and find out what it means. And it turns out it was actually the name of a captain on Star Trek. I'm like, well, I like the fact that he was a captain, but I don't really want to be associated with Star Trek. It's not something that I've ever really been interested in. It's kind of cool for whatever, but not really something that I want to be known for. Then I looked at the name Tristan. Tristan sounds sexy and charismatic, someone who sweeps women off their feet and jet sets over to London for an afternoon cup of tea. But when I found out what it meant, it actually means outcry or loud. Now, to me, loud people who are abundantly loud, tend to get on my nerves. And, it's not something that I would want to incorporate in my alter ego. The name that I was really kind of leaning towards was Gunner. And I guess that coming out of my mouth, that doesn't really sound right. Gunner. It doesn't really envelop the character that I want to invoke when I need an extra boost of confidence. And it means bold warrior, which is cool. But is that all Gunner is? A warrior, someone who charges into battle and is no holds barred and just goes in without thinking and just kind of punches his way through a crowd. Gunner. Not exactly there. We're getting closer, but it doesn't envelop everything that I want, because I also want him to have a humble and sensitive side that people are actually drawn to, a charisma that people enjoy and want him to be around them with. Alaric. And when I did a Google search for powerful men's names, Alaric came in, and that kind of piqued my interest. I'm like, that's an interesting and kind of obscure name. I've never heard of it before. So I did a little bit of research, and I believe he was a king from the, I don't know, like the 5th century or something. But it sounded a little nomadic or Nordic to me. I'm like, well, I don't really have any Nordic descent, nor do I really want Nordic descent. It doesn't really correspond with the dark hair and dark eyes that I envision my character to be. It means a powerful ruler, which is kind of cool, but it's not quite there. But we're getting closer with the powerful ruler. Alaric kind of sounds like a charismatic, sensitive type name, but not quite there. Then we have the name Jax, J-A-X. I think that's it, Jax, and it means God gracious. And my character is someone who's not only strong-willed and powerful, but also someone who appreciates the life that he's been given. Someone who's sensitive and curious about life. someone who's able to step up to the plate and go headstrong into a situation, no problem. And I think someone who is blessed by God, someone who is God gracious, could have all of those characteristics. It's also a unique name, which I'm very interested in. So Jax. Jax is sensitive and yet powerful. He's witty and yet humble. He's charismatic and yet can be assertive when necessary. A world traveler, someone who's attractive both physically, mentally, and on the inside. Jax. Jax is my alter ego. So, now that we have our alter egos created, how are we going to invoke them when we need them in a certain decision that we want to make, in a certain change that we want to invoke in our life, or a situation that might come up? So, what I have found when I have to go into a meeting, and when I go into a meeting, I've already pre-planned everything. I have the entire conversation rolling around in my head. I know exactly how it's going to go. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way. So before I open the office door to step into a meeting, I will take 10 seconds I'll take a deep breath in, release it, and invoke Jax. How would Jax handle this situation? Notice how my posture changed. I started standing up straighter. My chest is out a little bit further. My shoulders are tilted back, providing me an air of confidence. Okay, now that I have the posture, let's take a deep breath in. Jax is going to be rational about the situation. Jax is going to think before he speaks so that he can verbalize intelligent thought. Jax is going to be charismatic and witty so that he can charm whoever he's talking to into seeing, his perspective and actually being open enough to seeing someone else's perspective. Jax has confidence, he's sincere, and he's able to control the situation. Jax. Invoke Jax every time I want to make a change in my life. So I want to lose a little more weight. What would Jax do? Jax would actually sit down, make a plan on how that's going to be accomplished, and schedule out time so that he can actually achieve that goal. I want to make more money. What would Jax do if he wanted to make more money? Well, he'd come up with a side hustle that he's passionate about and actually start working on that, allotting a specific amount of time every single day to do steps towards that side hustle, towards making that extra source of income. I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed. What would Jax do? Well, Jax would probably give a little bit of time to helping someone else. Jax is a pretty cool guy. People like Jax. I am Jax. I've got Jax inside me. And all I have to do is pull him out. That's pretty cool. That's where your alter ego actually comes from. It comes from the person inside you that is just waiting to get out. All you have to do is give him a name. Give her a name. Give it a name. And invoke him, her, it, when you need him, her, or it. Pull him out. Bring him out. And I guarantee you can conquer any change that you want to make. You can manage any situation that comes up. It's quite a powerful tool, and if it's good enough for Beyonce, I think it's good enough for me. So here's what I'd like you to do. Here is the challenge. I would like you to create your alter ego. I want to know what he or she looks like. I want to know what they feel like, what they do for a living. How much money do they make? I want to know everything about your alter ego, and I want to know their name. Go ahead and put it down on paper because it becomes so much more powerful when you actually write it out and can actually see it. And I want you to start practicing with your alter ego, even if it's in the bathroom, in the morning, before you go to work. You know, you've got a big project coming up, you don't know what you're gonna do about it. Just take 30 seconds in the morning and invoke your alter ego. Talk to them right there in the mirror. Let them talk back to you so that they can boost you up, build your confidence so that you can manage situations better and create goals and achieve those goals quicker. I know you got value out of this video and I would love to hear about it. Comment down below with how the process went for you, as well as your description of your alter ego. Make sure to give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. My friends, next Monday marks video 4. Make sure to tune in for that and I will see you then. Take care, my friends.